Well, hello to you and thank you for joining us at the noon hour on this Thursday. Meteorologist Nathan Scott is in the Weather Center tracking our forecast for the day. Nathan, I have to say so far it's been a beautiful one.
Good afternoon, Jurnee. We don't have the winds about to blow you away anymore. The wind machine has turned off and we are seeing winds out there primarily below 10 miles per hour. And that is certainly some relief compared to what we were seeing this time yesterday and the day before. It got chilly out there this morning. The winds were calm. The skies were clear. We woke up with numbers into the upper 20s to low 30s, and now we've warmed up into the upper 40s to low 50s, even the 61 showing up in Texarkana. There's a mixture of sun and some high clouds. There'll be some more clouds drifting their way through going into the afternoon hours, but temperatures will warm up into the upper 50s in many locations, low 60s in Hot Springs, 63 in Arkadelphia, 67 in Texarkana, 52 though in Jonesboro. Now tonight, not as cold. Temperatures drop down into the low to mid 40s. And then to close out the work week on your Friday, it's going to be a breezy day. We'll have the winds kick in from the south-southwest, 10 to 20 miles per hour, and that will send the numbers up most likely into the 70s for many areas. Don't get used to it, though, because colder weather will arrive for this weekend as a front will make its way through, and that'll bring us our next chance of rain. More on that weekend forecast coming up.
All right, Nathan, thank you. Well, we start with new details on a search for a man who police is considering armed and dangerous. Deputies say just a short while ago, Faulkner County deputies issued a public safety warning. Both the sheriff's office and U.S. Marshals are actively searching for Joseph Blair. An alert was sent out advising people to avoid any encounter with him. As that warning remains in effect, here's what you can do. Police are conducting their own search, but if you see Blair or know of his whereabouts, do not hesitate to contact deputies. He was last seen in the area of Damascus. Again, do not attempt to approach this man. Instead, immediately call 911 to alert authorities. The governor has initiated a ban on several Chinese-based platforms. We learned these new details just this morning. Governor Sanders announcing DeepSeek Red Note and Lemon 8 will be prohibited on government devices. The governor recently took action against the Chinese Community Party that shown in her China legislative defense package, which regulated property ownership. In a statement obtained by her team, the governor called out China for having ulterior motives by accessing sensitive information. She finishes with, quote, that will not be tolerated in Arkansas state government, end quote. Well, as we speak, several grants are being announced for outdoor recreation. In total, over $3 million will be distributed to more than 20 counties statewide. It's made possible through the Outdoor Recreation Grants Program. It aims to aid the development of outdoor facilities. The governor is also there in attendance, and our team is at the event as well. You can expect new sound and video tonight at 5 and 6. An outdoor investment for North Little Rock has come to fruition. Leaders there spent the morning unveiling new upgrades at the Glenview Community Center. A ribbon-cutting ceremony was held to acknowledge the renovations. It features new shade structures and accessible benches along walking trails. New U.S. policy will soon begin influencing various industries, especially with a 25% tariff in effect on Mexico and Canada imports. With that in mind, we're learning how breweries are preparing. At Little Rock's Diamond Bear Breweries, the president told our team they use domestic supplies. For now, that will help them with costs. On top of that, the business has a stockpile of its most expensive necessities.
Well, we've got a good supply of cans. That's the number one thing. As far as malts, we're in good shape now, but I'll probably look at our inventories and may need to add up a little bit just to be on the safe side.
Now, while they're good for now, down the road, economic specialists say a number of factors will determine how hard businesses are impacted.
Whether it's just a temporary kind of negotiating situation or whether we should count on these taxes being in place for the long run. And that's going to matter for business decisions and investment and expansion.
Once costs begin to rise, it would force businesses to adjust. Eventually, customers will also begin to feel the effects of newly enacted tariffs. Now, at the White House, President Donald Trump has shifted focus to the Department of Education. There, he is expected to issue an executive order dismantling the agency. Natalie Brand has the newest details.
Oh, I'd like it to be closed immediately. Look, the Department of Education's a big con job.
For weeks, President Trump has talked about shutting down the Department of Education. CBS News has confirmed the administration is expected to issue an executive order directing newly confirmed Education Secretary Linda McMahon to start the process of dissolving the department. Lawmakers grilled McMahon on the topic during her confirmation hearing.
I am really all for the president's mission, which is to return education to the states.
The department is downsized. Would the states and localities still receive the federal funding which they currently receive?
Yes.
McMahon also acknowledged only Congress has the power to close the department, and getting that through the Senate is unlikely.
It will be a disaster for working-class families all over this country. It will mean higher property taxes.
Facing growing concerns over a trade war, President Trump said Thursday he's pausing the 25% tariffs on most goods from Mexico for a month following a conversation with the country's president. The move comes on the heels of his decision Wednesday to exempt automakers from tariffs for a month. Even some Republicans are pushing back against the tariff policy.
I have yet to have a business from Kentucky come to me and say they want tariffs. Bourbon industry thinks it'll be hard. Retaliatory tariffs will hurt them. Farmers think retaliatory tariffs will hurt them.
The administration has argued it's aiming to spur manufacturing within the United States. Natalie Brandt, CBS News, the White House.
Well, we have an update on a case we've been following. The former psychiatrist accused of Medicaid fraud has requested a new trial date. Brian Hyatt previously worked as the director of Northwest Medical's Behavioral Health Unit. He was also a former member of the Arkansas State Medical Board. Next week, he was scheduled to appear before a judge. His trial, slated to start April 9th, well, Hyatt's legal counsel filed a motion to delay. As they wait for a response, we'll provide updates as they come out. The city of Little Rock is reconsidering the use of gunshot detection technology. The shot spotter system was voted down last month. Some members said the contract was too expensive and the system was unreliable. The margin was slim as it only failed by one vote. Director Hines is now pushing for another attempt. That decision, however, is met with controversy.
Director Pack was out with hip surgery, and so we felt it really important that we not take that tool away from our police department and our prosecutors.
In my perspective, things need to be on the agenda so the public knows that we're doing it.
A motion to expunge would simply erase the previous vote, so it does not appear on the agenda. That means the city would need to vote again. We'll work to learn if that will happen. The high school basketball tournament is heating up on the hardwood. Sports Director Tyler Cass has the Day 2 recap ahead at 12:18.
We're seeing lots of sunshine out there for today, but going into the weekend, the weather becomes more unsettled. And if you're headed to the Wide Mountain Daffodil Festival, the daffodils, they're just starting to bud. So you still might want to hold off because we need warmer weather for those flowers to really peak blooming, and that will happen, I think, next week. Temperatures this Saturday primarily staying into the 40s for a large part of the day. So if you're headed in that direction, take the umbrella and take a coat. I'll have your weekend forecast and let you know when to expect more rain coming up.
Also looking ahead, here's a look at the THV 11 Plus lineup right after our broadcast. We're streaming national headlines at 1:30, then at 2:30, catch an episode of Locked On featuring Luka and LeBron's path to the championship. You can download on your TV and always watch for free.